It's the Go Getter TV. You already know it's your guy, Deme D. This is If You Ask Me, Hip Hop Debate. That's where we talk that music and movie culture from the late 80s to the mid 20s. Got my usual suspects here with me, man. You already know, fellas. Stroll, Mac, B, Dutch in the building. Hip hop professionals, I'm gonna call y'all. You know what I'm saying? All right. Nah, but yo, you know how we do it on the show, man. I love doing this here, man. This is where the channel started. We in 2024. I'm gonna keep rocking, and thank y'all for tuning in with me. But this right here, man, I think y'all the perfect people for this. Cause I think you see when I put this post and I have this conversation often. Part of the reason why I started this show or why I started building the platform is because a lot of people talk about hip hop being dead or just there being no new talent, and then there not being no new talent in New York. New York done fell off. And then I find it, I just like, yo, if you feel like there's just no talent, you can't bond or attach with nobody, everybody's whack, everyone is not authentic, they're not doing it right, then perhaps you've outgrown hip hop.
Outgrown.
And it's like people get offended. You seen, I had a post that had about fucking 300 comments in it and people throwing stones, but I'm like, fam, but you're one of the main culprits that gripe about it every day.
Right.
So I just don't understand, why do people get offended with that? What is it? Is it about that it's something you're just so personally attached to, or you feel like you're no longer cool if you're not part of it? Because sneaker culture was big to me. That was my life.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized I don't get hyped for releases. I'm no longer searching what's new.
Right.
I just go, oh, I like that, and I buy it, and that's it. So I've outgrown it.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with like. I don't understand why do y'all think people get so upset over that?
Like go first?
Saying you've outgrown hip hop.
I mean, because what you're saying is they do take it personal. A lot of the people, they take the music personal. You know, they feel like it's theirs. You know, so because they feel like it's theirs, you tell them they're outgrown it, it's like it's no longer mine. I mean, I do agree that just because you don't like something doesn't mean it's not hip hop. I have an issue with that altogether because people tend to believe because they don't like something, that's not hip hop. So now you're saying you're outgrown it. Like, I'm not outgrown it. That's not hip hop to begin with. You don't know what you're talking about, which I disagree with that because just because you don't like it don't mean it's not hip hop. It's just, you're not liking it. There was plenty of artists in my era that I didn't care for, but I'm not going to say they're not hip hop. I'm just not feeling them.
But even if they don't use the not hip hop argument, it's like everybody's whack to you though.
But see, and
no
that's
matter who you name.
But see, and you know what? And that's because the today's, and I think me and him was having like a similar conversation about this in retrospecting in the car in regards to this generation as opposed to like our generation. This generation, they're too lazy, in my opinion, because there are so many artists out there, but they don't look for the artists. They don't actually, listen to where the artists are playing. They only refer to like the 4 or 5 artists on the radio that's blowing up. And so because of them, oh my God, this music is trash. It's trash. But it's like, dude, there's more than that.
That aspect,
and I gotta give you props because there's artists that I didn't know about. Like we were just talking about Rome Streets. You put me on the Rome Streets. You put me onto Flea Lord, which there were other artists that I liked, but those artists I didn't know. And they're not, either they don't have someone to guide them there, or they're not doing their job to find artists that they like. Because you can't tell me everybody's whack when you're only talking about 5 artists. Meanwhile, there's like 30, 40 different artists, especially New York. New York has so many artists, but you naming the same 4 or 5 artists.
You see the difference? You just said the difference. Because I can understand, right? It's hard at this point to stay in the loop because, like you said, there's no, for lack of shouting out anybody else, there's not a lot of platforms like mine that's focusing on the other aspect. But the problem I have with people, right? You see what you just said, right? Mm-hmm. I told you about Rome. You went and checked them out. Yeah. I told you about Flea Lord. Check them out. These niggas already saying they whack no matter who you name. So it has nothing to do with whether you think it's hip hop or whether they be like, well, it's just not like before. All right then, fam, then you're done.
Because they, like I said, they're still referring to the stuff that's, if those guys are not playing in commercial areas, if they're not on the radio all the time, they're like, oh, well, they're whack to begin with because they're not on the radio. But then that's a contradiction.
They be contradicting themselves.
Side. People on the radio is whack, but then you're telling me if they're not on the radio, they're whack. Which one is it? Which one is it? And then
you tell me because they not, you tired of popular artists, but then you saying they whack because they not popular.
Somebody in one of our groups said the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. He said that if an artist only sells gold, then they're doing something right. If the most an artist
Oh, yeah,
sell
I seen
is
that. I
gold,
seen that.
then they're doing something right. And I'm like, that makes no sense. So Tribe didn't do something right because Tribe went platinum. Tribe went platinum. I know you mad at Jay, so you don't want to be Jay. Redman went platinum. A lot of De La Soul first album, platinum. I think their third album, second album too. So it's like, that's a contradiction. The artists that you praise went platinum. You can't say because they sold more than gold, but they're doing something wrong. They're trash.
True. And the real problem though is that we give credence to these people. We actually listen to what they have to say. These people, right? You share your idea, your thought, just to share your idea, thought. But I'd like to just to give a different spin on it, if possible, right? Right? All three of us are Haitian, right? Mm-hmm. All three of us are Haitian.
Ça passe.
All right, ça passe. You know what I mean? I look at it this way. If I told you that I don't like compa right now, right? Mm-hmm. Would that mean that I'm not Haitian?
No.
Right. But when somebody says, yo, I don't like hip hop right now, all of a sudden they're not hip hop culture. That's the problem. That's what I think is offensive. I think I could still be hip hop culture. I should still be allowed in the discussion because I have an opinion, even though it differs. It's just that I'm just the part of hip hop that isn't with the music, right? Because if I don't like compa, that doesn't mean I'm not Haitian, bro. I'm Haitian. It's just I don't like that sound.
But not being hip hop and outgrown is two different things, though.
But then see the contradiction.
It's not to say you're not hip hop, but obviously, if nothing new is resonating with you no more, you've outgrown the new product. That doesn't mean you can and never enjoy nothing ever again or enjoy compa.
Right.
But clearly, you can't gravitate towards nothing. Because if we're talking 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 7 years, it's been, nigga, the last album you resonated with was in the 90s?
And another thing,
it's over for you, dude.
Yeah, your comparison is a little bit wrong in regards to like these people that he's referring to, because
we in there.
You're right. If you're Haitian and you say you don't like compa, that doesn't mean you're not Haitian. But the people, for example, that he's talking about, they'll say, I don't like compa, but because I don't like compa is not Haitian. That's the way they are. Because I don't like this song or like this artist, that artist is not hip hop. And that's the problem. Right. Because you could say, I don't like compa. I'm Haitian. Compa is like this music of the Haitian culture.
Right.
I don't like it, but that don't mean I'm not Haitian. And that doesn't mean that compa is not
Haitian.
Haitian.
Every Haitian don't like compa.
Same
because
like,
that's
but
our,
dudes,
I think that's our
dudes don't like
specific.
Drake, and dudes will say Drake is not hip hop.
I think it's more, okay, but there is okay, yes, that was a great point that you made there. But there is a thing where trolling gets you conversation, gets you, engagement, and so that's part of it.
They be dead ass, man.
You think that's real?
A lot of them be dead ass.
They be dead.
They be dead.
They be people that base opinion as fact. Like, dude, that's your opinion. That's not fact.
How could you like rap and don't think Rome Streets is good? Like, I just can't.
Yeah,
I can't comprehend that.
And then what makes it worse too is the day and another thing, like what we were saying in the car, in regards to the aspect, people, this generation or this era, you have so much access to music as opposed to before. Before, if Deme were like, yo, Rome Streets is dope. Now I gotta go out there and look for either a mixtape or his album. If he has it, I gotta go to the store and find them. Right. Now, a couple of keystrokes and I can get his whole discography. So there's really no excuse for people to be like, well, he's not on the radio or he's whack. Like, if I tell you something, you have easy access.
If you really want it, because the same way you saying they getting offended, I'm getting offended. For you keep saying that there's no new talent. And I'm getting offended. You keep saying niggas in New York don't rap. And I keep telling you yes. And then you go, oh, well, they're not on the radio.
They're not on the radio.
I thought you wanted to hear rap, my guy.
And you, like I said, you don't even do a search. Like I said, and I don't want to keep bringing them up. But like when Deme mentioned me, I went back and I looked up his whole discography and got his whole discography and listened to all this stuff. And like shit was like 5 years prior. Listen to them one by one.
There's a lot of people out right now that we just not.
So
I'm not trying to play nobody, but at the end of the day, it's okay to be like, yo, my time is up in this.
Mm-hmm.
So
if you're not doing the work, I believe so. If you're not doing the work
you
to find what you like, then you don't. This is not for you anymore.
Because that's part of the reason for this show. So look, people who don't listen to new shit,
right?
We could talk about the shit that we love.
But then, right? and this is why I say it's trolling, right? Because if you have the time to go online, join a chat forum, and feel like there's nothing out there, then you have the time to look for
They do, because they don't win. They not really looking. Them niggas want. When I say trolling is some humor to it, these niggas is griping for real.
Yeah.
They like the old niggas get off my lawn.
And then they like to change history because they'll talk about older artists and then they'll act like these older artists, like, not everybody from the early 90s or 80s was positive, B. But they'll act like everything now is toxic.
Exactly. And I got
back then, none of them was toxic,
I got a
B.
topic coming
None of them
up
was
with
talking
that,
about murdering people or whatever. Like, but
I've
that's
seen
what we
that.
like.
But I
Even
kind
when
of.
but it's all over with the night because they act like we didn't say niggas in the 90s was whack.
Yeah.
And there were plenty of dudes that people were saying top tier MCs were whack.
Yeah.
Especially in New York. You could find people who would say Biggie was whack or Nas was whack or Jay was whack. Jay would have dead like it. But that's all I'm saying, man. Listen, man, if you truly love the culture, there's no possible way you can't find a single new artist that makes some kind of music that you like. They are definitely here. We are not talking about the mainstream niggas who just, I'm fucking your bitch, fucking your switch, fucking your bitch. We're not talking about them, yo.
Yeah.
So, again, if you need that information, man, make sure y'all tap in with me to Go Get a TV. This is where hip hop lives. Follow me on Twitter to Go Get a TV. I'm your guy, Deme D, Mr. Everywhere You Never There. Got my guy P on deck, Stroll in the building. Subscribe, share, hit that red button, man.